welcome. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly if you're new here, and for today's video I'm actually going to be recreating this makeup look that I saw on Pinterest from Madison Beer, and I think it's so elegant, really pretty, neutral, just like your typical soft glam makeup. And I'm going to be using the Soft Glam palette from Natasha Denona. I've never tried this palette out, I just got it for Christmas. I'm so excited to use it. And yeah, I think it's the perfect palette to recreate this look with. So if you're interested to see how it all comes together, then just keep watching. Okay, so I went ahead and primed with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. If you have dry skin like I do, it's a really good primer to try. In this picture, her skin is super glowy, so I'm going to be taking this glowy gel from, I don't know how you even say this brand, but I'm going to be using this gel. It's in the shade Star Glow, and I'm going to be using that under my foundation. I've actually never tried this, so we're going to find out together. I'm going to be using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm using the shade 3. I just put some of that on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to be using my It Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to blend that out everywhere. Okay, so I officially look like Casper the Ghost, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and add concealer anyway and just completely make my whole entire face disappear. Okay, so for concealer, I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape in the Ultra Creamy version. This is pretty good for dry skin. I have really dry under eyes, so I use this like all the time. And I'm just gonna be putting that underneath my eyes, like that. And I'm gonna kind of like do this whole thing that everybody does. Just kind of put it everywhere that I feel like I need to, and kind of like where I want to highlight. And this actually looks a little bit yellow compared to that foundation, but it's fine, we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my under eyes. I always let it sit for a minute, that way when it dries a little, it'll leave a little bit more coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. So next I'm going to be using the Ilia Soft Focus Setting Powder. I just literally just spilled powder all over my hand, so that's cool. I'm just wasting everything. I'm just going to go ahead and set that under my eyes and just kind of everywhere else I feel like I need it. This powder is actually really nice at like smoothing out your skin. I feel like that just kind of like blurred my skin, which I really like. Her brows are pretty like feathery and just full in this picture, so I'm gonna be doing that as best as I can. I don't have her brows, but we're gonna attempt. I'm just gonna speed through this, and yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and set my brows with this Gimme Brow from Benefit, and this is a really nice brow gel. I really have been enjoying it lately. I actually don't ever fill in my brows like this, so if they look crazy, like, let me know, because I can't tell if it's too much or if I just don't do my brows every day and it just looks a lot right now. But yeah, I tried to make them a little bit fuller than I normally would. Just kind of how they are in the picture. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the eyes because I just can't wait. So I'm going to be using this NARS eyeshadow base. This is just like, this is in the shade Light. I really enjoy this. I feel like it makes my eyeshadow look really smooth. Also makes it last like a really long time. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that. I'm going to be using this Real Technique. I can't even say that. Techniques. I'm going to be using this Real Techniques. It's like a concealer brush, but I'm going to be using that to just blend this out on my eye. So I'm just going to blend this out, and yeah. So I'm going to be taking this like bone colored shade. It's called Transition, but I'm going to be using this like on the brow bone and just kind of like everywhere to set that base. So I'm just going to be taking this like on the brow bone and just pretty much everywhere. And I think I'm also going to kind of build it up on my lid as well. Okay, so I'm gonna take the shade Blend right here. I'm gonna take this in the crease. Hers, it's pretty defined. It's not like a super cut crease or anything, but it's pretty defined. So I'm gonna start with this little blending brush like this. That way I can kind of keep that color in the crease pretty concentrated on that area. So I'm just gonna start putting this in the crease and kind of focus it up here. And then I'll kind of blend it out and diffuse it a little bit more once I'm done this. This color is like perfect. This is like blending so nicely. So yeah, I just kind of put the color kind of where I want it, and then I'll blend it out more in just a minute. But I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to take the brush that I used earlier, and I'm just going to kind of blend that out as best I can. Just try to diffuse that color a little more. Just make it extra blended. Okay, I think I've blended that out as much as I want to. So now I'm going to take that same color. It's called Transition. It's actually like the lightest color in the palette. This shade right here, I'm going to take that again, and so I'm just going to be building this up on my lid. Just kind of focus it right underneath my crease, that way it stands out. It's actually a little bit more gray and cool toned than I was hoping for, so it's actually looking kind of gray on the lid. It's not working. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Man Eater palette, and I'm going to be taking the lightest shade in the palette and try to fix this. So I'm just going to be using this brush again, and I'm just going to go over that, and hopefully this will work. So I definitely think that that helped a lot more. So I'm going to take that same blend color from the Natasha Denona palette and then just kind of build up that crease a little bit more. And just kind of define it against that lid color. Okay, so now I'm going to take this fluffy blending brush from Sigma. This is the E40. Old but good. And I'm just going to kind of softly blend everything out. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it like this for the shadow. I'm going to go ahead and start with a liner, which I'm nervous about. So we're all gonna say a prayer and just hope that they turn out even and not too thick, because she does have a pretty thin liner going on. So we're gonna try our best. So I'm gonna be using this gel liner from Bobbi Brown. This is really nice. I'm gonna use the number 12 brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is for your brows, but it's actually really small and precise. So I've been using it a lot for liner and it works really well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attempt. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt this little winged liner situation. I think I'm just gonna start like on the lash line and then extend it when I feel ready. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It might not be where we intended to go, but somewhere. That's somewhere. Okay, definitely not the best at wing liner, but we did our best with this, and I think I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit with some concealer. So I'm going to take the same concealer that I used earlier and just put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm going to take this little brush from Luxie. This is their 245 brush. It's like, it's round, but it's also flat. So now I'm going to clean up the edges of my liner. I kind of blend it out with my finger. Okay, so now that the liner is done, I'm going to go ahead and tight line, and I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs liner in the shade Black. And I'm just going to tight line with this. So I think we're pretty much done with the eyes except for mascara. I did just blend a little bit of that crease color on the bottom lash line. I took this and I put it on the inner corners as kind of like a base, and then I took this highlight shade from the Natasha Denona palette and put that on top. So to finish up the eyes, I'm going to be taking the Rare Beauty mascara. Moving on to the face, I'm actually going to be trying out the Nudegasm palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm very excited. It looks so beautiful. So I'm just going to be taking this bottom contour shade and just try to put that everywhere that I would contour. Alright, so I just used that Charlotte Tilbury contour shade, and now I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer over top. And I'm just going to do that on the same exact areas, like my cheekbones, my forehead, and like underneath my neck. I'm going to be using this shade. It's the Multi-Glow shade. I'm going to put that on my cheeks. I'm gonna go over everything. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the highlighter shade and then just kind of lightly dust that everywhere. Okay, so I feel pretty glowy. I did put a little bit of this Fenty Beauty highlighter on top. It's in the shade Lightning Dust. I used this side, as you can probably tell, to give it a little bit more of like a pink color. I feel like that was a pretty gold highlight on me, which is fine. I'm just like super pale right now, so I needed something to balance it a little. But now all that's left is lips, and then we will be done. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to be using this mcgrath Labs lip pencil in the shade Contour. So I'm gonna line my lips with that. Okay, and then for lipstick, I'm gonna be using this m.a.c lipstick in the shade Bosom Friend. It's kind of a weird name. I'm just gonna keep that like in the center and then blend it out with my finger. I'm going to be using this Colourpop Lip Gloss in the shade Moonchild. It just looks like this. I think this is like the perfect topper for a nude because it has like little gold flakes in it, and it just looks so good. So I'm going to put that on. So I'm just going to put this kind of like in the center and then blend it out with my finger again. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you did, and definitely like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment on anything else that you want to see in the future. But yeah, if you want to see more videos from me, then definitely consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in another video.